Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, thank you so much for joining us. Today we're going to be chatting about all things fall perfume. So I have 10 of my favorite fall fragrances for you here today. I have everything from woodsy scents to gorgeous gourmands. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first scent that I have here is Byredo's Mixed Emotions. This is a scent for both men and women. Oh my god, this one smells absolutely amazing. So I'll just read the notes here for you. So the top notes are blackcurrant and mate. The middle notes are tea and violet leaf. And the base notes are birch and papyrus. This is a very polarizing scent. I've been, reading reviews on it, watching reviews on it online, and a lot of people hate this scent. I'm not really sure why. I think it's a very pleasant scent, but I do know that it is quite strong. It is a very intense fragrance, probably not a safe blind buy. What it reminds me of is England on fire. I know that sounds really weird, but let me take you through why I think that is. So when I was a kid, I would go to the body shop in England, and they had this scent called dewberry, and essentially that's our blackcurrant fragrance. Blackcurrant is also used a lot in British items. Think of Ribena. There's lots of candies with blackcurrant. You don't really see that here in North America quite as much. So when I think of blackcurrant or that dewberry scent, I think of England. And when I say England on fire, it's because this has a really smoky note that goes throughout the fragrance. This to me smells like making a blackberry tea over a campfire. So you're getting those really juicy blackcurrant tea and violet leaf scents. And then you're also obviously getting the mate, and then you're getting that birch and that smokiness from the campfire. That's what it really reminds me of. I think it's delicious. I really like the smoky quality of it. I think it really adds this textural layer. Getting back to that, why it reminds me of England on fire as well is because violet leaf is used in a lot of English-inspired fragrances. So again, you have the blackcurrant, you have the violet leaf, you have the tea, Brits love tea, and then of course, again, you have that birch and that smoky quality. So I just think it's just beautiful. So a lot of people have said that this reminds them of more of Baccarat Rouge 540. It's kind of that burnt sugar scent. Maybe this is Byredo's take on that really popular kind of cloud-like burnt sugar, spun sugar fragrance. This is definitely a lot sweeter, more berry pulp and gypsy water than Baccarat Rouge for sure, but it is sweet and smoky and fruity all at once. It is just absolutely intoxicating. Highly recommend picking up a sample of this because it's just, oh my god, I could smell it all day. So next up we have Maison Margiela's Replica fragrance, Whispers in the Library. So let's go ahead and test this one out. I didn't wear this a ton last year. You can tell from the bottle that it wasn't worn a ton, but it is a really nice fragrance. I definitely want to wear it more this year. So again, the notes here are vanilla, woody notes, pepper, and cedar. I think I've also read that there's some tonka bean absolute in here. It is really the scent of wood wax and old books. I think they do a great job of replicating that kind of, endless bookshelf, secret passages in the library. The scent really is, it's not overpowering. It is more of a whisper. I think the description of this scent really hits the nail on the head. It smells like back to school. It's tweed, it's leather, it's pencil shavings. It's a sophisticated scent that does sit quite close to the skin. It does remind me a lot of Tom Ford's Black Orchid, especially the opening. It has that kind of spicy, leathery kind of licorice where it's a little bit sharp on the nose, but the dry down is really warm and velvety. And this one specifically, the dry down is more of a powder. Not baby powder, a bit more sophisticated than that. You still have those wood notes kind of carrying it through. This is a really beautiful, cozy fragrance. I think that it would work really well for people who are into that kind of academia vibe. It's a really cool fragrance for sure. It'd be a great signature scent, perfect for, you know, warming up on a rainy day with a cup of coffee and a good book. And then of course we can't talk Maison Margiela Replica without mentioning By the Fireplace. This is, I think, their most famous fall scent. I do know they have that new scent out, Autumn Vibes. I did purchase it. Not really a fan, to be honest with you. I think it smelled a lot like, kind of like a Santal 33, and that scent just reminds me of like 2013, 2014, so I was looking for something a little bit more new and exciting. This one I've had for a couple of years, but you keep going back to it in the fall. It is just again, such a cozy fragrance. It just kind of reminds you of fall days. Let's go ahead and spray this one here. So this is again, another woody unisex fragrance that is very sweet and captivating. I'll read you the notes here. Oh my God. Oh, I think I just got that all over myself, but it smells so good. Okay, so the top notes we have pink pepper, orange blossom, and cloves. Middle notes of chestnut, guaiac wood, and juniper. And then we have, the guaiac wood actually comes from Palo Santo. So that's where you're getting that kind of like smokiness from this scent. It's kind of giving us that burning leaves. And the base notes are vanilla, balsam, and cashmeran. So that's why you're getting that kind of sweet, vanillic, soft, cozy quality from the cashmeran as well. This is smoky, creamy, marshmallow incense. So imagine a marshmallow incense and you get this fragrance. It reminds me of crackling wood burning stoves. Okay, so this reminds me of walking home from school as a kid. I'll take you through, I'll set the scene for you. So I grew up in Nova Scotia, and after school, the bus would drop me off at the beginning of my subdivision, and I'd have to walk through the subdivision to get to my house. Around 4 o'clock, it does start to get quite dark. So it was already a little bit dark. Everyone would already have their wood burning stoves turned on. So you would be burning your stove, you would smell it out in the atmosphere, and this is me smelling that smell, crunching on leaves on my walk home, maybe with like some sort of a marshmallow or kind of creamy candy. Oh my God, it's so nostalgic. It makes me really excited for cooler weather to be able to wear this because it's just so warm and comforting. This is a perfect everyday fall and winter scent. I would love to wear this in the winter, especially around Christmas time. It's just so gorgeous. I will say that I think that some people may prefer this for night because it is quite a heavy scent. So just something to keep in mind. I definitely recommend trying this one out before you buy. This is just like quintessential fall to me. All right, next up we have my pride and joy. It is Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. I mean, the bottle alone is just impeccable. I'm obsessed. I do typically prefer to see the juice in my fragrance bottles, but if you're gonna make it look like this, I don't care. It's just, oh my God, and the scent, oh my gosh, it is so good. So I bought this one a couple of years ago. It is very expensive in Canada. I think it retails this size bottle for around $4.25. I did pick it up during the Sephora 20% off like Byredo Rouge sale. So if you're looking into this, highly recommend doing the same. They have since come out with a smaller travel size bottle, which I believe is around $95 Canadian. Again, I just picked up one of those because I'm almost out of this bottle and I really don't want to have to spend another $4.25. So this is your juicy gourmand fragrance for fall. Oh my God, it's absolutely incredible. Let me take you through the notes here. So we have black cherry, cherry liqueur, bitter almonds, and the heart notes are griotte syrup. By the way, this is not a pronunciation YouTube channel, so don't come at me. The griotte syrup is like a macerated cherry syrup. There's Turkish rose, jasmine sambac, and the base notes are Peru balm, roasted tonka beans, vetiver, sandalwood, and cedar. Oh my God, like this is my favorite Tom Ford fragrance. I really do like tobacco vanille as well, but this is me in a bottle. It is just delicious. So you smell the black cherry 100% at first sniff. It is juicy and innocent. It's that sweet, dark kind of cherry. It is not tart. And then as it begins to dry down on the skin, you smell more of that almond, and it smells more and more like a Bakewell tart. If you haven't had a Bakewell tart before, look it up. They're absolutely delicious. Not super popular here in North America, but totally worth the drive if you can find an English bakery. So this also has a bit of that amaretto liqueur undertone. So imagine, again, like boozy, cherry, almond. Think of those, I don't know what the brand name is, but think of those gorgeous dark cherry, like maraschino cherries that you can put in cocktails. It's that. Quickly, this does turn more complex and you begin to smell more of, you know, the jasmine and the rose, all while the cherry is your vehicle. It's kind of carrying throughout the fragrance. A couple hours in, you do get more of that warm, toasted tonka bean and the smoky, leathery quality of the vetiver. But again, the cherry really has been lost at this point, which is why it's so aptly named Lost Cherry. You know, you cannot smell the cherry anymore. The cherry is more so in the top and the middle. You lose the cherry completely in the base, and it ends up being more of this kind of creamy, cozy sandalwood vetiver fragrance, kind of getting us to the base of that Bakewell tart, if you will. So this is a gorgeous fall fragrance. I think it works really, really well going into Christmas time. I personally love to smell this on my clothing and my scarf as well. You will smell it 100% the next day on your clothes too. So if you're picking up to do your laundry or maybe you rewear a certain item, you're definitely gonna smell this perfume again. This is just such a cozy and delicious and juicy scent for fall. Beautiful, boozy, gourmand, and it will definitely have you smelling yourself all day and having other people want to take a whiff. The next scent that we have here, you knew it was gonna be on this list. This is the scent of 2020 and 2021. It is Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Baccarat Rouge 540. I know it's an expensive fragrance, but let me tell you, nothing really comes close to it. Obviously Cloud is a pretty good dupe. I think that it has more of a marine scent to it. It's a little bit more like salty and aquatic to my nose. This one is more pure caramelized spun sugar. I will mention that Burberry Her is a pretty good dupe of Baccarat Rouge 540, and that's because it's actually made by the same nose. It's made by Francis Kurkdjian, Burberry Her is, as well as Baccarat Rouge 540, so you're gonna find more similarities there. Burberry Her does have more of a strawberry note, top note to it, so I will get into that in another video, but again, let's get back to fall fragrances. This is Baccarat Rouge 540. This one is your gourmand sweet scent. This has so much staying power. Again, it's a very polarizing scent. Some people think this smells like stale. I don't know what they're smelling. This is not stale to me. This is caramelized, burnt, spun sugar. Let's go ahead and get into the actual notes of this fragrance first. Mind you, I don't really feel that they are a good description of what this fragrance actually smells like. So the top notes are saffron and jasmine. The middle notes are amberwood and ambergris, and the base notes are fir resin and cedar. The opening of this fragrance is quite sharp. It is sugary with a hint of green in the background. You don't smell the green on every single sniff, but it's definitely there. After about 30 minutes, you get more of a sophisticated sugar bomb fragrance, and then as it dries down, it becomes more of that caramelized cotton candy or burnt sugar scent. After a few more hours of wear, you get more of this musky quality that actually smells quite masculine to my nose. So this is really where you see that cotton candy scent turn into this musk scent in Baccarat Rouge 540, in Burberry Her, in Cloud. All of these scents all have that same quality where it turns into something else at the end. If you've ever smelled Patrick Ta's body oils, that is what the dry down smells like. This is 100% a beast mode fragrance. People walking behind you are gonna smell it. I had a sales associate follow me up the stairs one time and she called me on my fragrance. I wore this at a socially distanced bonfire. We were more than 6 feet apart outdoors and people could smell this on me and they wanted to know what I was wearing. I know that the scent has been everywhere. I know a lot of you have probably smelled this fragrance before, you've heard of it before. If you haven't though, there's the off chance that you have been living under a fragrance rock. highly recommend testing this one out. It really is super, super unique and quite beautiful. So because this is such a powerhouse fragrance, I do recommend it for more of your formal or special occasions. So, you know, that means different things to everyone. Maybe it means that you're gonna wear this fragrance to buy your first luxury handbag or a nice coat for the winter time. This also could be a fragrance you wear to, you know, the ballet or an opera night, you know, date nights, cocktails with friends, birthday parties, Christmas time, holiday parties that are gonna be coming up, you know, night at the gallery, etc. This is such a delicious fragrance. You're gonna have people following you, asking you what you are wearing, so be prepared. All right, so next up on my list is 2020's favorite little Christmas baby. It is Kilian Angel Share. I actually haven't smelled this since around the holiday season of last year. So let me just go ahead and walk down memory lane here. Oh my God, it is so good. Oh my gosh, this is definitely one of my favorite Kilian fragrances. This is a unisex fragrance, so definitely both men and women can wear this. You could share this with your, you know, boyfriend or husband if you wanted to, no problem. Oh my God, it is so beautiful. Can we also just appreciate the bottle, how this is meant to look like a little, you know, whiskey or cognac glass? I think it is just absolutely stunning. I love the cut glass. It is a plastic cap, which is the one thing that I don't really love, but I don't care enough to complain about it. I think it's a really cool concept for the bottle. So let's get into the notes here. So the top note is cognac. Absolutely, it's cognac. The middle notes are cinnamon, tonka bean, and oak. The base notes are praline, vanilla, and sandalwood. Oh my God. Again, this kind of reminds me of like a lost cherry kind of vibe, but swap out the cherry notes for this kind of appley cinnamon. I know that apple doesn't come up as an actual note in this fragrance, but I definitely smell it in there. It's kind of that apple pie kind of scent. A little bit of a backstory. If you're not already aware, Kilian is the heir to Hennessy. So it only makes sense that they came out with this kind of liqueurs collection, especially Angel Share. They also came out with, I believe it's Roses on Ice, which is more of a gin fragrance. And then this year they came out with an absinthe fragrance called Le Vert. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And there's also apple brandy on the rocks. First, let's talk about the name Angel Share, which is such a cool name. The Angel Share actually comes from the act of distilling spirits. So when you're distilling spirits in a barrel, some of that alcohol is going to ferment and actually go into the barrel, and that is called a devil's cut. And then some of the alcohol is going to evaporate into the atmosphere, and that is called the Angel Share. So what an aptly named fragrance. This scent is very alcohol forward. It is very boozy. It definitely stays rich, boozy, spicy, and warm throughout the entire wear. So something to keep in mind if you're looking to maybe pick up this fragrance. This is not something that I would recommend, you know, wearing to work. It's more of, you know, a date night or night out fragrance. So something to keep in mind if you are perhaps thinking of wearing this as like a signature scent. Probably not recommended if you work in an office. It's really, really beautiful. You definitely smell the cognac, you smell the cinnamon, and you smell the oak. I do get a little bit of the tonka bean in this, which I think adds to that kind of like yummy factor of the fragrance. Definitely unisex. Reminds me of like a cinnamon bun or a warm apple pie with maybe a little bit of booze in it. Maybe some sort of like creamy, boozy liqueur ice cream with it almost. Or like an apple crumble that has been like soaked in cognac. Maybe the apples are soaked in cognac. It's definitely rich and just delicious and really, really spicy. It is a great warming perfume. So again, it's a nice fragrance to wear in the fall and winter time, especially when it's a cooler night. This is definitely gonna get people to wanna lean closer and to smell your fragrance. And this would be absolutely suitable for things like Thanksgiving or Friendsgiving, date nights, nights out just in general. I don't know what people are doing these days. Are people still going out? I feel like it's just a never-ending lockdown. We're out of lockdown technically here, but I don't feel like that's the case. I see this maybe as more of a mature crowd. I don't really see this on anyone under the age of like maybe 27 or so. If you like boozy fragrances, if you like spicy, warm fragrances, I highly recommend picking this one up. Next up, we have Kilian's Apple Brandy on the Rocks. This is a new scent for fall 2021. So I only picked up a sample of this fragrance because I wasn't sure if it was going to be very similar to Angel Share. Online, I heard a lot of speculation that it was going to be, again, another warm and spicy scent. And I already smell a lot of apple and Angel Share, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to get this one or not. To be honest with you, I'm glad I didn't pick up an entire full bottle. I might just get it maybe a smaller decant of this one, but it is still a really, really good fragrance and definitely would be a great option for those who prefer a bit more of a masculine leaning scent. It starts off very spicy and again leans very masculine, but if you smell it a little bit longer, you start to pull out some more of the creamier notes, and I'll run you through what the notes are here. So again, this is a warm, spicy, and fruity scent. So what you're going to get is cardamom and bergamot on the top. That's where you're getting that kind of that sharpness with the spiciness. The middle notes are rum, pineapple, vanilla, apple, brandy, and moss. And the base notes are ambroxan and cedar. So you're gonna get more of that woodsy, kind of musky, creamy quality on the bottom. I definitely smell the cardamom and bergamot right away. So again, it's giving you that fresh, that spicy kind of scent. In the dry down, it does become a lot sweeter, sexier, a lot more complex. You start to get the pineapple and the rum and the brandy. There's a little bit of a vanilla that starts to come in, which keeps things really kind of creamy and inviting and not overly harsh and kind of sharp like you're smelling in the top notes. Even in the dry down with this scent, it does pull quite masculine, but it is delicious. They definitely nailed this vanilla apple brandy scent. To me, this is the scent of going home, back to your hometown for Thanksgiving weekend, and you're going to a bar, and maybe you meet up with friends, and one of the friends, he's single, he's wearing this fragrance, and it just has that really nostalgic kind of quality to it. He's grown, he's sophisticated, but it's still a very comforting sort of scent. It's beautiful. I would love my husband to wear this. I think I might wear it too. I actually wore this a few nights ago when I was testing it out for this, and I kept smelling this kind of apple, brandy, and pineapple and vanilla as I was baking. I was like using a rolling pin, rolling out my puff pastry, and I kept getting whiffs of this on my skin, and it just smelled so, so beautiful. So definitely men or women can wear this fragrance. Highly recommend trying out this fragrance. Again, if you prefer scents that are a little bit more masculine leading, you will definitely enjoy this one. My next fragrance here is another sample, but to be honest with you, I'm considering buying an entire bottle. It just smells so good. This is House of Ouds What About Pop. This is, oh my God, it is so gourmand with like some musk in the background. The first time I smelled this, I thought that it reminded me again of a cologne that my dad wore in the 90s. Again, all these scents are just kind of bringing us back to like a nostalgic place when it comes to those masculine scents. I feel like we kind of see that with some women's fragrances as well, but it's a really, really nice fragrance. I'm gonna take you through the notes. So top notes of popcorn, caramel, and hawthorn. Middle notes of whipped cream, Madagascar vanilla, and night blooming cereus, which looks like a floral scent. And then the base notes of ebony, benzoin, ambergris, musk, and Madagascar vetiver. Oh my God, the top notes are just so good. Very lactonic with that caramel and popcorn, which is why it really reminds me of like a fall scent. Think of like caramel popcorn balls for Halloween. You definitely get that kind of buttery popped popcorn scent with this creamy, velvety caramel. It's really, really buttery. That's what's kind of coming across to me. It's sweet and buttery, and again, you get that lactonic quality from the whipped cream that's in the middle notes. You start to smell the middle notes quite quickly, actually, when this begins to dry down either on your skin or again on paper like I'm smelling right now. I just want to take a bite of it. It's just really, really delicious. I think this would be a great scent to wear during the holiday season. What's nice is this doesn't go full-on edible Bath and Body Works type of smell. It still feels like a very refined and sophisticated perfume. Although you're getting those kind of sugary, caramel, whipped cream, popcorn notes, you get the vanilla and the benzoin and the ambergris, musk and vetiver all in the background. That really helps to carry this fragrance. This fragrance, it definitely dries down to that more musky ambergris fragrance, but it's still very, very delicious. I do love more of the top notes and the middle notes, so I probably just end up spraying more of that on later as it dries down, just so I can keep that kind of fun, lactonic, creamy. I just love that smell so much. This is a very, very unique perfume. So if you've never tried this, definitely recommend picking up a sample. I got mine off of Lucky Scent. This is a very smooth and buttery experience. I feel like you would definitely smell this on someone expensive. Maybe you are, you know, on a trip to Europe or a trip to New York and you're having an exciting day of, you know, shopping for beautiful things and dining at expensive restaurants, and you run into someone who is well-dressed and they're wearing this fragrance and you are just stopped in your tracks because it is just so gorgeous, and you spend the rest of your trip trying to find out what the hell they were wearing. This is that scent. It is, again, sweet, lactonic, caramel, yet sophisticated. It's a really, really good one. Also, I just want to mention as well, I think I love this fragrance so much because it reminds me of the caramel popcorn note from Miss Dior Cherie. I know that a lot of us frag heads really, really miss Miss Dior Cherie, the original, you know, 2005 formulation. I wore that when I was in high school as my signature scent, and it was that notes of strawberry leaf and caramel popcorn. And I swear those scents haunt me to this day. So anytime I hear something that has caramel popcorn in it, I just kind of have to get my hands on it and smell it. Hopefully one day they will bring out Miss Dior Cherie again so we can all experience that beautiful fragrance. Next on the list here we have Kayali's Invite Only Amber number 23. I just picked up a small bottle of this one. Again, I just find it so hard to wear all of my fragrances, especially if working from home, but I love to smell them. But this one, it's really nice. Definitely different than what I was expecting. I'm hearing the notes from this one, so if you can, I recommend smelling it in person, trying it out on your skin. This one is meant to be kind of their Mona's version of like a vampy kind of sexy perfume, which they haven't really done in the past. I love vanilla, Kayali's vanilla, but I don't think we've seen anything quite as like sexy and almost unisex leaning from them. So the top notes of this one, it's sour cherry, tobacco leaf, honey, chocolate, and hazelnut. The middle notes are Ceylon or Ceylon cinnamon, May rose, damask rose, and citrus leaf. And the base notes are amber, agarwood, which is oud, vanilla, cypriol oil, benzoin, patchouli, sandalwood, and musk. So a lot of scents here. It kind of reminds me of like Angel. When you look at the Angel list of notes, there is a smattering of scents on Fragrantica, but this one is really, really nice. You definitely smell kind of that cherry and tobacco leaf. I do smell a little bit of chocolate in the top notes, but it's more of like a dark, brittle kind of chocolate. It's not like this velvety chocolate that you would experience, let's say, in something like Montal's Chocolate Greedy. The middle notes of the cinnamon and the rose definitely shine through, and the base notes are, it's definitely a warm, very warm scent, great for cooler weather, because you do get that oud, you get that amber, definitely get that patchouli as well. I really like this fragrance. It reminds me of kind of a mix between Lost Cherry and Tobacco Vanille, both Tom Ford fragrances. In the top notes, you're getting that sour cherry like you see in Lost Cherry. You're getting tobacco leaf and honey with that vanilla like we see in Tobacco Vanille. It's almost like Mona's take on these more dark fall fragrances, which we haven't really seen from Kayali before, which is, I think, very welcome. I think that people have been loving the scent. On my skin, it does not sit close to the skin. First of all, let me tell you that. You don't have to be close by to be able to smell it. It really is kind of this powerful beast mode fragrance, lots of sillage to it. Great night out kind of fragrance for that reason. And I have to say, it is not, in terms of the textural experience, It's not this kind of heavy, heady fragrance. To me, it is effervescent. It smells like, I don't know, like bubbles. That sounds really weird, but it smells like bubbles in a cocktail. Like imagine some sort of, you know, cherry, chocolate, cinnamon cocktail that has champagne in it. So it has that effervescent quality to it. And that's how it smells when it sits on the skin. It's a really, really nice fragrance. If you haven't tried any Kayali fragrances before, this is a great one. May not be the one you want to start with because I don't think it really tells the story of Kayali, but I think it's a beautiful fragrance. Nonetheless, great for this time of year. Just, it's stunning. Last on my list here, I have Parfums de Marly Delina Exclusif, not to be confused with the original Delina. They smell very different. This is like a flanker of Delina, absolutely. A lot of the similar notes, but a lot more of a smoky kind of quality to it. Great for fall and winter wear. Let me go ahead and just spray this on a tester strip. I only have a decant of this one. I ended up getting Delina, the original, to wear on my wedding, so I haven't picked up Exclusif yet. Let me go ahead and take you through the notes of this fragrance. So we have top notes of lychee, pear, and bergamot. So you definitely get the same kind of lychee, sharp, fresh top notes that you get in Delina with this one. The middle notes you have Turkish rose, oud, and incense, and base notes of vanilla, amber, as well as woody notes. So again, right away you can tell from the notes alone, this is gonna be a lot more of a woody, heavier fragrance than its counterpart Delina. Delina is fresh, it's that beautiful kind of jammy rose, whereas Delina Exclusif is like Turkish delight and incense and pencil shavings. It kind of reminds me of the pencil shavings note that you get from Tarot Card, catbird scent. So what you're getting here is a lot of rose. You're getting that amber, you're getting vanilla, you're getting woody notes, you're getting oud. It is still a fresh floral though. So if you are, you know, a fresh or floral wearer, that's your signature, and going into fall, you feel like you need to, you know, revamp your collection a little bit, I'd highly recommend trying out Delina Exclusif if you're looking for something with that little bit of, you know, floral yet woody, incensey kind of vibe. This is really beautiful. Delina Exclusif has a really great sillage. It is a wonderful performing perfume, definitely worth the price tag. I know it's a little bit steep. Parfums de Marly fragrances typically are, at least the more feminine fragrances. This is such a beautiful feminine fragrance. This is such a cool take on sort of like a Middle Eastern scent because you've got that, you know, jammy Turkish delight rose, you have incense, and you have oud. This is definitely the type of fragrance that you would want to wear if you're looking to like harness your badass, divine feminine energy. I could totally see, you know, witches wearing this type of fragrance, which I think makes it such a perfect fall fragrance in of itself. But yeah, if you haven't tried Delina Exclusif, this is a great one if you love floral scents. All right, everyone, that marks my top 10 fall fragrances for 2021. If you have any fall fragrances that you have your eye on, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to know what your nose is leading you to this season and what I should experience as well. If you made it all the way through this video, please make sure to give my video a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in the next one.